Howard Catton, who is the CEO of International Council of Nurses, and he joins us for more. We are commemorating, it's incredible, World Health Day amid a pandemic. The World Health Organization is asking for more investment, and given the dire situation that we are seeing all the time across the world, is this not too late?
You're right. This was designated the year of the nurse and the midwife. It was intended to be a year to profile what nurses around the world are doing, how fundamental nurses are to our global health. And then coronavirus hit us, and coronavirus is demonstrating in the most powerful way, more than designating any year could, how critical it is that we support and invest in nurses. We have a global shortage of the region of 6 million. We are not doing enough to give nurses good working conditions, to pay them properly. We're not doing enough to protect nurses. Coronavirus is highlighting that very, very clearly as well. So this year, this report, we need to take the lessons from coronavirus, that nurses, our health workers, are key not just to our health and our well-being, but our economic well-being, to our national security, even to our personal freedoms. The tragedy will be if we do not learn the lessons from coronavirus and invest more and more consistently in nurses and our health workers.
Howard, that investment can't wait until the next budget. That investment can't wait until summer. That investment needs to come now, surely not. I mean, I sit here, I mean, you hear the cries for help from these nurses. I've got one in my mind that I just can't stop thinking about. A nurse in the US that said, "We are like lambs going to the slaughter. We put our lives at risk." And we clap for them. Fantastic. But is money getting to them? Is the PPE that they're desperately calling for all around the world? I mean, we cover the globe here, and in practically every country we speak about, they're desperate for PPE, still, even in developed countries. Why has it got so bad, and is that money coming now, not next budget?
So the reason it is as bad is because politicians and leaders have not taken investment in health and investment in nursing seriously. You're absolutely right. We get the warm words about how we value nurses and health workers, but we don't put serious cash in, and we don't do that consistently. There's periods of feast and famine rather than making sure that we have the resources all the time. I have been speaking to nurses around the world from the beginning of the year as well, and you're absolutely right that there is a major problem with the supply of personal protective equipment. We have not manufactured enough. We're not making sure it gets to nurses on the front line. As a result, as a direct result, we believe that that's why we're seeing an increase in health worker infection rates, 9–10% in Italy, 12–13% in Spain. Tragically, nurses and doctors and other healthcare workers from around the world who have died. This is preventable if we make sure that they have the personal protective equipment. We have called that out and have asked manufacturers and governments to do more. We need more of the kit, but we need governments to make sure it gets to people in the right places across borders and through customs as well. This is a real time to prioritise and protect right now our health care workers, and we've called that out very clearly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Before I go, and we let you go, which countries are the worst hit?
So look, we've seen this move around the world, and of course the worst hit countries were the ones in Asia. They appear to be over the peak now. Some really important lessons about what they did in Asia. They acted quickly, they tested, they quarantined, they really supported their nurses. We hope that we're reaching peaks in places like Italy and Spain, but there's a real issue here as well about the pressure that our staff are under. Because this thing has gone on for weeks and may several more weeks, we run the risk of exhausting our health staff. We need to make sure that they get support, that they get breaks, that they get rest as well. Clearly, we're seeing what's happening in America. I was speaking to many of our associations, nursing associations in Africa at the end of last week. Africa has a little bit of time, but its numbers are where the numbers in Italy and Spain were at the beginning of their pandemic. They must use this time wisely to prepare. And we have already seen in one country, in Zimbabwe, nurses who are currently on strike because they haven't got personal protective equipment. Time is absolutely precious.
Howard, thank you so much. And your message is so important, so critical right now. Really appreciate your time.